games I want
speaking
anyways.
of spending too much money on video games,
that's a
great segue.
There you go.
So if you were here last week for episode 80, we kind of teased that I had purchased something, and so we're going to talk about that.
He bought a Switch case that could hold 80 games.
We teased that, yeah.
It's just a little teaser.
That's
what he
you
bought.
could probably put that together.
Yeah.
I wish I had a cha-ching.
21?
But
it was $21,000.
It was $21,000. So I'm going to put some photos on screen of the listing because I took a screenshot of all the listing photos just because I had a feeling I was going to talk about it on here.
Oh, really? I thought that was like...
I thought you just bought it for yourself.
Oh, I mean, I did.
Yeah, we're kidding, dude. Yeah. Anyways, pictures, listing, all the games.
So I was on eBay looking at just like blanket video game lots. Another word for lot would be bundle, whatever you choose to search by. And I see this listing for $3,500. It is like the title of the listing. I have it right here. Is
Ultimate RPG bundle for gamers.
Ultimate Nintendo Switch 90 plus game lot Neo Octopath Dragon Quest's rare RPG bundle.
There we go.
It was 12 photos. It was listed, like I said, at $3,500. And I immediately, just like to see what happened, put in a bid of like $1,500, and it immediately got declined. So I was like, okay, this guy has like those like auto options. That's like, I'm not going to take below a certain number. And I messaged him and I was like, I really want this. I'm curious, like, how far can you wiggle? Because right now you essentially have them, I think it was like $40 a game, $41 a game. Some of them are sealed, some of them weren't. I checked my math. 40 might be wrong, but that's just what I think I remember. But this is the description of the listing. Buyer receives the Ultimate RPG Nintendo Switch 90 game lot, 3 exclamation points. The Ultimate Nintendo Switch game bundle includes unforgettable games from the Legend of Zelda series to the Final Fantasy series and other anime-inspired games like Persona 5, 4 exclamation points. Total of 90 games with 90 plus RPG, adventure, puzzle, rhythm, and platformer action games. This is the Ultimate Switch game lot. Buyer receives official Nintendo Switch North America version. Ultimate Video Games 90 bundle. This description is like probably like 5,000 words. It's huge.
What did you just say? Ultimate Video?
5,000? I don't...
Ultimate. What was the last part of the thing you just read?
Are you trying to tweet
Ultimate Video Games, parenthetically 90 bundle. 3 exclamation points. And so I told Maddie and I was like, look, I want this, but I don't want it at his price. I said, if I can get these games at about $30 a pop, I will buy it. And she was like, you're a fucking idiot. You shouldn't buy that. That's so stupid. And I was like, yeah, but I really want it. And I have the money. And she came around, but she was like, you're such a fucking nerd, which is like totally true. And so I gave him an offer of $2,500. I gave him an offer of $2,700. And I said, this is $30 a game. I think this is fair. Let me know what you think. He doesn't say anything that night. The next morning I wake up, nothing. I'm like sitting like on the toilet, and it's like he accepted your offer. So after taxes, it was like, $2,900, but $600 off, give or take. I mean, after taxes.
Yeah, I mean, you would have paid taxes even more. It would have been more than $3,500 if you...
Yeah.
So.
And so I have the box. I'm not going to go through every name of every game.
Just hit some highlights.
I'm going to put it on screen quickly. If you want to pause the video, you can do that. And for listeners, I'll try and put like a list in a little text document. But I'm going to get the game box so you can see how many fucking Switch titles this is. You can fill time if you want.
Games are cool. My favorite is the Cars game you got in there. Sean checked out Bee Simulator.
Yeah, there's a bunch of Ice Age.
Yeah, there's actually some really good ones in there. And what's crazy you didn't mention is that like a whole bunch of them are sealed. Like clearly this dude was collecting games, which is a fun thing in and of itself. But unfortunately, you got
Yes,
some
that's
loose
right.
games. But it's a pretty sweet deal. I mean, you got Persona 5 Strikers sealed with the Steelbook,
So
also sealed.
for the thumbnail, I'm gonna try and hold this up and not like break something. It's a shit ton of games.
Here, take this out.
Bro, just leave that in, dude.
There's some games in that though.
There's some games in that game case.
Yeah, there were a couple loosies.
So there's a fuck ton of games in here. You get the idea. But yeah, so the story, this would actually make me feel a lot better about it. So he messaged me, or no, I messaged him and I said, like, thank you so much for accepting my offer. I'm so happy to get this. I'm just curious where you amassed this collection because it's a fuck ton of like, I would say mostly pretty good games.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, there are a lot of RPGs, a lot. I mean, how would you describe this? Like,
I don't know. I don't know that it's Ultimate RPG Gamer Pack because there's quite a few RPGs,
I mean,
but there's also a bunch of random crap. But there's
Yeah,
nothing
dude,
in there
feel
I
like
haven't
it
heard
had to have
of.
been like,
I mean, he clearly liked RPGs. You know, there's some anime-inspired games.
he definitely
like you
had
said.
kids.
yep,
Well, yeah.
Definitely had kids.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like Ice
What
Age.
was that?
I was trying to read what that said.
it said Catherine,
But
full
then he's
body,
got Catherine full body in here, right?
Yeah, let's not
which
talk
is
about
porn.
that. It's. I don't want to talk about this. I have that game.
Have you played it?
No, not yet.
It's porn puzzles.
Yeah.
We got new and
Uh-huh.
tasty.
But
I can't read this.
So, like I said, I asked him. I said, you know what? How did you get all these games? Some of them, a quarter of them are sealed. How did you come into the Because, immediately people were like, "Oh, dude, those are stolen,"
I think they might be.
and they
No, I'm
could
kidding.
be.
I'm joking, dude.
They could be.
No, I
But-
mean, you definitely, when you start collecting games, and I've done many times, you're like, this looks sweet, I'm going to buy it. Maybe a lot of them he got, on some kinds of sales or whatever.
Yeah, or maybe he worked at a GameStop.
Yeah.
or-
Get discounts, you buy it, because why not? And then put it on the shelf and...
So
Never
he
get to it.
responded and he kind of said like, I actually need the money. And when we first started playing the Switch, him and his family would, they would buy physicals instead of digital. And he was like, we've been doing digital all across the board. So we don't really need physicals anymore. And he was like, honestly, I need the money. And I was like, well, that makes me feel better. And I think it made Maddie feel a little bit better.
Better that you haggled them down 800.
Yeah. And then, and that's,
I'm just kidding.
and I was like, now I fucking feel
No,
bad.
but you wouldn't have bought it in the first place. It was
yeah,
$3,500.
I can't buy used.
It was going to be like
games.
$4,000
Yeah.
with tax.
I can't buy used games at $40 a pop. Unless it was all sealed. If every single one was sealed and each one had a game case, some of them came without it. It was cartridge only. Some of them, I would pay $3,500. But no, I mean, for what I got, I'm very happy. I feel like it was a solid trade. I think he's happy because I was like, I'll pay right now. I was like, let me get this. I'll pay right now. And he was like, you said you'd pay right now, and you did, and I appreciate that. So I'm very happy.
It's a come up.
I feel like I don't really have to like look for games right now
You
because
shouldn't.
I'm like, I picked one out and it's kept me busy for 3 days. I've been playing Rhyme, which is incredible. It's like so good.
I'm glad you're
I've heard
enjoying
it's
it.
good.
I mean,
Like-
dude, you could pick anything out of that box and hit something that's probably going to be fun.
Ice Age for sure.
Yeah.
We've been joking that like I'm running like a Blockbuster rental
dude.
service now.
I mean, you seriously should not buy any games for a while other than, like Pokemon when it comes out or whatever. Which I know there's not much you're looking forward to, but like you could. And I say this knowing full well I keep buying games I'm never going to play, but I'm just saying you just bought all that at once. There's enough in there for you to.
Well, I already have a list of those that I'm like, I will
Yeah.
be like Link's Awakening is probably
Oh, yeah.
next. And then, I really want to try something that's out of my wheelhouse of like something I would never buy that
Dragon
is in
Quest
this
11S.
box. You know, it's something I'd never buy, like Bee Simulator. Like that's gonna be on the, you know, he's not even listening.
Damn.
He just doesn't think it's funny.
The bee simulator. I know about it.
Like Ice Age, like I'm definitely throwing that in. You know,
Dude,
Cars
I'll
3.
look at. I'll give you some Rex, bro.
There's definitely like some throwaways, but I could tell from reading the list that there was a lot of good games. There's a couple throwaways, but the biggest thing for me was out of all 90, I only had, I think, 3 of the games already. So Super Mario 3D All-Star, Mario Golf, and I think one other. But like there wasn't like a Skyrim, which I already have. There wasn't a Breath of the Wild. So many of the
I'm sure-
bundles
I
that
feel
you
like
look at
some of those
have those in it.
He had digital or didn't want to get like Breath of the Wild. Even if you were getting rid of all your physicals, why would you?
Yeah.
Well,
rid
they
of that.
sell really well.
Well, that's
You
what I'm
know?
saying. I'm surprised some of those, like, he could have sold like the Nintendo titles on their own for more than he just did. Obviously, easier just to do it all at once, but he could have gone on eBay and sold Super Mario All Stars or whatever.
Yeah, I just wish I could like see all the time spent amassing these titles, because some of them, like you said, are like brand new.
Yeah.
Like what are some of the brand new ones that you
Well, there's
that you
the
saw?
Neo World Ends With You. I was like, oh, this just came out, you know. I don't know what else. That was the one where I was like, that's kind of funny that this just popped out.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some that have been in the last year, obviously, but I don't know when they switched over to digital, which to me is still a funny thing to say, because it's like, yeah, we're doing digital. Like, I'm assuming you didn't rebuy all those games digitally, but
Dude,
you know, it's just easier.
I hope not.
No.
I really hope not.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I get the idea
lot
that
of
it's
money to-
easier
Because
to have.
if you do the math on all of those new, I mean, what is that? 90 times. The thing is they're probably not all.
Yeah, they're not all
60.
60. So
No,
if you-
yeah, that's what I said. So even if you did 50 bucks a
guys,
pop,
4,500.
yeah, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of moolah.
Yeah. Did you say it was 45?
No, I said even if you did 50.
Yeah, 90 times 50 is that 4,500?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, you know, like I said, I kind of feel like a kid in a candy store, like, and I want to get like a shelf to put them on, and like, because I think this is realistically the most games I've ever had for a system. I
probably.
I think I have a lot of PS2 games lying around.
Do you
and
have 90?
I don't know
feel
if
like
I have
doubt it.
90. And I had a lot of 360 games also, but the thing is like, and you guys probably the same way, like I have 3 copies of Oblivion. I have 3 copies of Skyrim. I have, you know, whatever racing game I love. You know, I've got like multiple like Fallout. Like I probably have like 12 physical versions of Fallout of any, you know. Are you the same way?
I mean, with some games, for
Skyrim
sure.
for sure. Oblivion as well.
There's probably 2 Oblivions in that box right there.
Stardew Valley, I own 2 copies of.
And Skate, I have like 3 Skate 3s.
I have 4 copies of Darkest Dungeon.
You do.
I don't know. I mean,
I don't
feel like-
discourage it.
No,
if
I know.
you can't find it, or they come out with like, you know, a Game of the Year edition with all the DLC, like fuck it. You know, I will not judge you.